Hey y'all, it's me, Miss B, and today we are going to graph by hand. So we're going to use our transformation of the parent function to create our graphs. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So remember, we need to find the parent function, then find the new function, and then we also want to do our equation of the asymptote, the domain, and the range. So the parent function is going to be, we'll just call it f of x again, equals our base number 2 and then to the x. Don't get that 4 confused because it's actually our initial value, our multiplier, and this right here is our base. Okay, so that's going to look, we have x and y. Those values will be, I just picked -2, 0, and 2 because they're easy. So 1/2, sorry, let me show a little more here. So this is 2 to the -2, which is 1/2 squared, or 1/4. 0 is 2 to the 0, which is 1, and 2 squared is 4. Okay, so then we want to go ahead and talk about our transformation. So what's going to happen to x? Looking here is we have x minus 1. So that means that our x's, we're going to add 1 to those values, because if we're subtracting 1, we want to do the opposite. Then our y values, we've got 4 and -2, so we want to multiply by 4 and subtract 2 in that order. So our x and y, adding 1 to each of these values, we have we would have -1, 1, 3, and then 1/4 times 4 is 1, plus 2 is -2, sorry, is -1. 1 times 4 is 4, minus 2 is 2, and then 4 times 4 is 16, minus 2 is 14. So we will go ahead and first, before we do that, let's talk about the horizontal asymptote. It's going to be y equals -2. Our range is going to be, because this is positive out here, it'll go from -2 to positive infinity, and then our domain is just -infinity to infinity. So graphing our horizontal asymptote of -2, there's that. Then we want to graph these points, -1, -1, 1, 2, and 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, so like right there. And then, so what we'll do is we'll make this line approach that asymptote, and then it's gonna keep going up steeply to go through those points. So there is our graph of y. So that is y right there. I'll just kind of show you. You don't have to graph the orange, but I do want to show you what that would look like. So we have -2, -4. Then we'd have 0, 1. Oh, that should be a +4. 1, and then we have 2, 4. It's here. So, and then we'd have a horizontal asymptote at 0. And so our graph would look something like this. So you can kind of tell that we can see between those two things that we have a vertical stretch, and then we also have a shift down, and we also have a shift to the left a little bit. I'm sorry, to the right, because I'm looking from red to green. Okay, so that's just some observations there. Let's do another one. Okay. So let's go ahead and graph this one. So we have, does it say to graph the parent function? No. Okay, let's not graph the parent function then, just so we don't muck up our graph. So our parent function is going to be 3 to the x, which our table for that would be, we have 1 and 2 to the third, I'm sorry, 3 squared is 9, so this would be 1/9. Okay, and then our transformations, x is going to be, we need to add 1, and then y, we need to multiply by -1, because this can be written as -1 times 3 to the x minus 1. So you can clearly see that value there. All right, so then our new functions graph, we're going to add 1, so we have -1, 1, 3, and then each of these just becomes negative. So we'll graph that. We have -1, -1/9. It's kind of shy there. Then 1, -1, and 3, -9. And then I'm going to go ahead and write out our asymptotes here. So we have our horizontal asymptote at y equals 0, because we don't have anything over here, so that's at 0. And then our range, because we have a negative value, is going to go from -infinity to 0. And then our domain is, of course, -infinity to infinity. So drawing that graph, it's going to approach that asymptote, and then it's going to curve down towards -infinity really steeply. Okay. All right, and I'm actually going to leave it there, and that's all for today, folks.